Hey everyone, Doug with Theme Park DNA. Today I'm going to be making a do-it-yourself lightsaber display slash holder. And this is a design that I came up with, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. It'll go from something in my head to something hopefully that works. So some of the things that I'm going to need today are a piece of wood. I picked this up at Home Depot. This is 3/4 of an inch by 1.5 inches by 6 feet long, and I cut it down to two pieces of 4 foot length and a 2 foot length. I bought these off of Amazon. These are 3D printed. These are pool cue holders. They're meant to screw into the wall, and that kind of gave me the inspiration for these are pool cue holders you see in in pool halls. So these, correction, I don't think these are, I think this is injection molded. Yeah, it's not 3D printed at all. Anyway, this is 7/8 of an inch, which on a 1 inch lightsaber, these are very flexible plastic and it'll clip right on there. So I bought some wood stain, something to put it on with, although a rag might do better. I'll try the sponge first. And that's it. So, also I've got 1/2 inch number 6 screws that aren't long enough to go all the way through the wood. All right, I'm back ready to stain. So you'll notice I've changed tablecloths. I got this years ago at Walmart on clearance for $1. It's those inexpensive fuzzy on one side, it's vinyl on the other. So I use it for cleaning a lot of my tools so that I don't get Hoppies number 9 and CLP on my wife's table. So it will work good for this as well. Well, looks like our sponge is almost too wide to go in a can. Oh, well, that's a cool color. Alright, so I let the stain sit on there for about 15 minutes and I rubbed the excess off. I think it turned out really well. It's got a little more reddish brown than I thought it would, but I like it. I really like how it turns out. The grain shows up really well in it. Nice thing about stain, it really kind of brings it out. So I've kind of let that dry a little bit, and I've mocked up my pool cue holders, and so I've just kind of got them at distances that I like, and I'm just going to screw them in. So to get my measurements out, I lined up 7 or 8 of my sabers and noticed that between the smaller and normal size ones, that 3 fingers between each of the blades kept the hilts far enough apart to where I can get a good amount of storage, but they're not banging against each other. And then some of the bigger ones, like my rapier, I noticed that 4 fingers on either side of the blade would probably be suffice. On all the big ones but the rapier, 4 fingers is good. On the rapier, I might just need to cant it a little bit. But I don't think there's, because I like symmetry. So I've already set up most of these where I've got 4 fingers on the ends, 3 fingers between all the rest of them, and I worked my way to the middle. I did 7 on one side and 7 on this is the 7th one on this last side, and it's going to leave a bit of a gap here. So I've got 4 fingers between these middle ones and the 2 middle ones and 2 on the end, and we'll see if that leaves me enough room for anything in the dead center, or if I just leave it for aesthetic purposes. So what I've been doing is I went ahead and load my screws in here so that they protrude just a little bit, and I used my finger as a guide, and I've got 4 fingers. Now I want to try to center this up and down best I can, and then I'm just going to kind of press down and let the screws bite into the wood just a little bit. This long Phillips head bit is perfect for reaching through here. Just screw down one side, make sure that it's square as I can get it. Outstanding. Now these 4 fingers here are a little tight. I made this one tight because I accidentally made that one tight. So we've got probably a good 5.5 inches here in the middle. I don't know if I want to add a 15th. That does give a good 3, well, it's not quite centered. And it kind of defeats the purpose of having these further apart slightly if I don't have room in the middle. So we're going to leave it at 14. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this 2-foot piece because I went ahead and cut this in 2 pieces so that I could store lightsabers of shorter lengths also. So I'm going to put this one at a height that fits most of them, and then for sabers that I have shorter blades on, I'm going to use this one. Alright, I've got the small one finished. My last step before mounting was going to be command strips. So I am a really big fan of command strips. First of all, because I really hate putting holes in my wall. Because you always end up moving it and then you have to patch a hole, and it's really, really annoying. So I have discovered command strips for, well, I mean, not just recently. I've been using them for years. At my current house, I only had to put holes in the wall for 2 things, and everything else is command strips. And like I said, big fan. I usually prefer the large ones, but I'm dealing with what I have. I have some mediums and a couple of smalls to augment. So I think this is going to be fine. All I really have to do is support the weight of the wood. It's not terribly heavy. So what I traditionally do is I'll pair up all my command strips first. Now that I've got my command strips in place, the only thing left to do is to hang it on the wall. Alright, well now we're down in my office and I have everything installed. I just took the backs off of the command strips and used the shortest saber I was going to. So for this large stand here, I used the shortest of my normal size sabers, which is going to be the rapier here, and use that for a height reference. And then I just put this level on top of it and made sure it was level and stuck the command strips to it and held it to the wall for a little bit, make sure I had a good bond. Then over here, so the purpose in the shorter one, as you can see, is going to be for shorter sabers, and I allowed them to overlap 2 of them, so when I have bigger sabers that I might want to have a little more support on the blade, then I can have a little bit of overlap as shown here. So all I did was use the shorter of my short sabers, which is going to be this Maris Brood inspired Tonfa style lightsaber, and use it for height. Again, I used the level and stuck it to the wall. So the only thing I have to do now is to put my lightsabers in. So this is what it looks like with lightsabers in it. You just put the lightsaber on the floor and snap the blade into the holder, and that's it. less than $25 in parts and a couple of hours of your time, and you can have a minimalist lightsaber stand that you can paint or stain to match anything. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and you don't have to put any holes in the wall, which is a big deal for me. So let me know what you think about this lightsaber stand. You like it, you don't like it, let me know in the comments below. This is one of our giveaway videos, so that means that if you subscribe, like, and comment on this video, you can win one of 14 prizes we have left, and the last 2 are lightsabers. So let's get to subbing now. I really am excited to give this stuff away, so I'm anxious to see who's going to go to. If you like this content, let me know with a thumbs up. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching.